Welcome to Senior Insights. My name is Cynthia. And boy, I must really love you guys because I am recording this video on Wednesday, which is the same day that I had the live in the middle of the night. So I'm kind of exhausted. But anyway, so anyone who's new here, please come in, have a cup of coffee, and just join us. I don't have a particular topic. I'm just going to tell you about how tired I am and what I've been doing, trying to get ready for you. Monday, I filmed 2 cooking videos. You have not seen them yet, but you will. You'll see one this week. Then you're going to see another one the next week. And I'm not telling you the way I'm going to introduce these things. I'm lousy at food videos, but as you know, those of you who have been watching, I'm getting better and better. I even did the live this morning. I got up at 3:30 in the morning, 3:30, and I said, what the heck are you getting up at 3:30 in the morning? So I went to the bathroom, then I went back to bed. I couldn't fall asleep because all I was doing is thinking about all the things that I wanted to talk about with you, my friends. So I said, I wonder if any of my friends are up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And since I've never done a live without my son Dustin coaching me along, it was a risk, but I figured not that many people would be up, so it wouldn't be too bad. So anyway, I tried it, and I posted 7 seconds of an old live, and wouldn't you know, Woody was there. He heard it. He said, what's with this 7 seconds? I love that man. You can always count on him. Anyway, what I told him in the comments was, well, if you stuck around for a little bit longer, you would have seen me in all my glory. I didn't say that. My PJs, no washed face, no brushed teeth, nothing. Well, I had clothes on, but I had my pajamas on. Now that's not like me, to do that. But anyway, I got on and I started talking and people started coming. I mean, it was like instantaneous. And I said, what the heck are these people doing up at this ungodly hour? This is crazy. Not thinking that I'm crazy doing this at this time of the day. But anyway, it was so much fun. It was really a lot of fun. I had a blast. I felt more comfortable doing a live. Evie, she does like lives all the time. I don't even think she does regular videos. It seems like every time I turn on the TV, she's doing a live. This is a show, by the way, in case you didn't know, for those of you people that are new. This is a show. This is my studio. Sometimes I go out of my studio, but most of the time I'm sitting right here. It's very boring, but we do have a lot of fun. So I wanted to talk about that live a little bit. I'm concerned, though. You know why? Because the views on most of my videos are going down. That means that that some people don't like them, or they don't like me, or they're getting sick of me. I mean, you will know all the reasons that the views could be going down, but I think the live actually interfered with the views for the video today because it overlapped by a few minutes. Sometimes people don't come back, so I learned a lesson there. So it's interesting. Life is just learning lessons. And the video that you watched today, the Ikigai on the 4 elements of Ikigai. Anyway, that was just a little stripped down version. I would encourage you to look up more about that way of life, or that philosophy, or whatever it is. And there's tons of things on YouTube that you could look into it. But all of those 4 things meld together. That just look at my thumbnail, because all those 4 things overlap and then they blend together in the middle, and you'll see things like compassion. I didn't prepare, so I can't tell you much, but it's pretty cool. I might have to talk about it again. Quinny needs to come in. I'll be right back. So I got interrupted, but what else happened? So I did those two cooking videos that I filmed. See, I'm back to that now, or did I already start that? Anyway, on Monday, I filmed 2 cooking videos. I'm not good at cooking videos, and I don't like to cook, but I decided I'm going to do that. I'm trying to stretch what I do. So that took me all day. And then I got this bright idea to invite Gay over, and I'm glad that I did. And I was going to have her critique the meal. So, of course, I'm having company, so then I have to clean my whole house. Now, she doesn't care. She's reassured me a million times. But if you've been to Gay's house, it's very different than my house. She tells me that friends don't care about what their houses look like. Well, anyway. So I had her. Then I was a video behind, so then that night, I had to do that guy video, and I did it so fast, and I didn't really do it justice. Could that be why no one's watching it today? That could be. So anyway, so I did that. So I was up later than usual. Then a friend called me, and I was chatting with them, and then I had to play my games, which I play every single night. I had to get 2 doses of candy because I was in bed, and I ate up all my candy, and I was still trying to function in bed, you know. I don't mean anything bad about that. So anyway, so the next day, I'm going out with my friend Ann. You all know Ann. She had a tour of her garden. I talk about her all the time. She is a very, 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 very good friend of mine. I look at her as my younger sister or my daughter or something. But something. She's very special to me. So she's going to give me a tour because I told you I was going to take you on a picnic. And I said to Ann, I told them that I would take them on a picnic, and I haven't done it yet. I don't want to make a liar out of myself. So, and she's originally from Maine, and I've lived in Maine for a long time. I don't remember, because I don't remember things like that. I don't remember significant events. I only remember painful events. Anyway, so I have to confess, we didn't make our picnic lunch, but we had to stop and buy some. We had to get some gas, and then we went on our adventure, and it was fun. You know, one of the main things that was fun about it is that both of us got out of the house. Anne works a lot. She looks around her home, and she does these things like she's kind of like a carpenter or a construction worker or something. She'll tell me when she critiques this video. No, she doesn't do that. She likes every video that I do. I hope she's poking the up button, the like button. Because you know what? I'm getting like 1 or 2 dislikes. Who could dislike learning about what your purpose is? I don't know what's wrong with people. It's pretty rare that I get dislikes, honest. But when I do, not good. Anyway, so we went on this trip, and we had a wonderful time. We had a really nice time, and I was telling you that it was just nice to get out because I sit in front of you folks all the time practically. And when I'm not in front of you, I'm thinking about you and trying to think about what I'm going to say. So I filmed the whole way, but I filmed outside of the car. I made Ann drive my car, not in her truck. No. So It's not as simple as filming it, because when you're in a car and you're driving, the filming is fast. And so before I can show you that, and before I can take you on a picnic, it's going to take me hours to edit it. I'm only kidding, because I don't put that much effort into editing, as you know, as you well know. Anyway, so we went to these beautiful beaches that I never knew existed. We went to, I think it was called Schoodic Falls, and then Goose Rock Falls, Goose Falls, something like that. Then we went to the Holbrook Island Sanctuary. We went to where her husband grew up as a child. I mean, we just rode by kind of thing. And she showed me where they used to go parking. I can't imagine Anne going parking. She did, though. I wonder what they did when they went parking. I know what I did when I went parking. What did you do when you went parking? Anyway, so we did that, and then I'm not going to tell you the whole thing, but I'm telling you why I'm frazzled all the time. So then we had our picnic. So you get your stuff ready, because you're going to enjoy this picnic. And I want you to go on a picnic. Pretend you're with us. Half of this show is fantasy. Just the fact that I'm calling it a show is fantasy. It's a YouTube video. But anyway, so then I'm taking up some new habits to improve my spiritual life. I'm reading the Bible every day. I am attempting to attend Mass every day on TV. And wow, lots of things. The reason I'm doing those two things is because this world is going to, excuse the expression, hell in a handbag. And I think that something's got to change. And that's all. I don't want anybody unsubscribing because they don't like what I said. It's too bad if you don't like it. Anyway, aren't I nasty? So then I get up at 3:30 in the morning and I do a live video. And you know what I did? I left the recording camera on. But after I did the video, I had 2 pieces of cinnamon raisin toast, slathered in butter, and then the couch was calling me. I never lay on the couch. Never, ever, because I don't like to mess it up. It's like one of the only things in my house that's not messy. But I laid down and I fell right asleep until 9:30. That's not too bad. That's not a heck of a lot later than I usually get up. But anyway, I got up and I had to take a shower. And I sit down at the computer. I'm going to kind of gather my thoughts and figure out what I'm going to say. And the phone rings. Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Kay. How are you? Well, I'm at your doorstep and I would like to come in. I said, well, of course, come in. Now, meanwhile, I lust for this kind of thing. I want people to feel comfortable dropping in. That's one of the things that I miss about my younger adulthood. But you hear what I'm saying. I have all these things that I've been doing. So I said, well, Gabe, be careful when you come down so the dog doesn't knock you over. She's very fragile, you know. She's a little old lady. She'll watch this and she'll say, yeah, you're right, I am. So, but she was so tickled because she was coming home from the hairdresser. She has no hair. She had some cancer on her head, so she had her whole head. She didn't have it shaved, but she cut it down to like an eighth of an inch. It was close. So I think that even though she liked it, she was a little self-conscious about it. But it's starting to grow out, and it had no style to it whatsoever. So she went to the hairdresser, and she had these little quarter-inch things hair styled, and it really looked nice. It's longer than a quarter of an inch, but the hairdresser was actually able to style it, and so Gay was thrilled, and she wanted to show it off to me. Well, meanwhile, I'm walking around with my wet hair that I haven't blown dried yet, and this is a confession. I never cleaned up the dishes after she came the other day for dinner. I did some of them, but there's a whole lot more that needs to be done. So I was like, oh no, she's gonna see all this stuff. There are fruit flies flying everywhere. Does anyone have fruit flies? I have those Vimo things, or those bug traps. They don't work. They attract bugs, but they don't. It's kind of like the Japanese beetle traps you put in your garden. I think they attract actually more things. So everybody says, get a jar of water, put some vinegar in it and a little bit of dish detergent, and that will attract the fruit flies. Well, why do you want to attract fruit flies? Anyway, I tried it. Probably for 2 weeks I had a little jar, and I had like that, well, I'm exaggerating, maybe an inch at the bottom of that jar full of dead bugs, dead fruit flies. Some people call them gnats, I think. But in my sink, there was a salad bowl with salad dressing with vinegar. So I have the trap with the vinegar, and I cleaned it out and I did a new trap, because I said, well, if you get an inch of dead bugs, it must do something. But then I didn't clean up my sink. I'm glad you guys are my friends, because I can say these things. I didn't clean up my sink. So over the sink, there's swarming fruit flies. She likes to sit at this counter by the sink. I said, don't sit on the counter. She says, why? I said, no reason. Come over here. You'll be much more comfortable. Anyway, I'm exaggerating, but I am exaggerating, but I'm not really. So you get the message. So then we sit and we talk, and of course Quinn greets her very, I called it friendly the other day, and she's like all over the place. She's wanting to play. She's crouching down like I've showed you in the videos with Kay. Now, Kay is a fragile thing. I said, Kay, will you please sit down, please? Anyway, she said, how would you like to come over to dinner tomorrow? I said, I'd really like that. She said, I have a pizza. We're going to have pizza. I said, okay. Meanwhile, I canceled going to my women's group today because I had to do this video. And I have to download all those other videos that I took. I have things that I have to do for my friends. And I have to go and have pizza for my friends. I love pizza, though. And I like her company. Sometimes I complain, I have to go over to Gay's. Always have a good time. And like I said, she waits on me hand and foot. So then I look at my Senior Insights in email, and Kathy Cochran has a message there. And she says, because we had a conversation about coffee and different types of coffee on the live. So she sends me a link to the coffee company that she uses. And I would prefer to purchase my coffee from a local merchant or a small merchant or, something, rather than Starbucks, which is where I get my coffee, and I buy it at BJ's because the price is really right. They have it on sale quite frequently. So immediately I go, I'm very impulsive, so I go right to the website, and I'm browsing through it. Now, mind you, I don't care for flavored coffee. There's all kinds of flavored coffees. And what interested me is she said she had carrot cake flavored coffee. I said to myself, what the heck does carrot cake flavored coffee taste like? But I asked at the live, I want to call it the open, like the tennis open. I asked at the live, and so she sent me the link to it. So I went right to it, and they had a discount. You know, when you buy something for the first time, I think it was a 30% discount. Well, I was feeling so pressured because I was looking at that. I was listening to the news on my phone. I was thinking that I really need to get started and visit with my friends on a video. So I browsed through all the coffees. You know, when there's 1,000 coffees, how do you pick which one that you like when you've never tasted it? Well, they have a sample pack. But if you buy the sample pack, what if you don't like 5 out of the sample pack? So then you've wasted your money. So I pick a few samples. They're like $1.98 each, so that means that's what it is for a cup, probably. And then I pick one bag of coffee because it's $13.98, and then I bought the other coffee things. So, you know, nothing is not uncomplicated when you're filling out those online things when you don't know what the heck you're doing. So I filled out all the registration and everything, and I take out my credit card and I paid for it. Well, I never put on the discount code. So I didn't get the 30% discount. So one side of me says, no big deal. It's probably not that much. What's 30% of $40? I have no idea. The other side of me said, what the heck? That could be $18. So then I have to try and track down the company again. And nothing is easy. So I track them down. I find where you contact the company. There's no phone number, of course, but there's an email. So I wrote the email and I submitted it. And then instantly one of those comment pages comes back on, submit your comment. So then I could have sworn I submit my comment. There's another comment section there. I said, screw it. I will pay whatever it costs. So let's hope I like the coffee. I'm sure that I will. But everything I do turns out like that. It's like one other little stress that's it's supposed to be a simple thing. I don't know. Is it me? Do these things happen to you? Anyway, I will see you tomorrow. I had a great time on the live, and I had a great time doing this video. I felt like it was alive. Alive. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't unsubscribe. Get your friends to subscribe. Bye.